Hey guys, it's your boy MKS here, back again with another video. Hope everyone's well wherever you are, and please check out part 1 if you haven't already done so, and look out for part 3. And I appreciate your support. And one of my goals or dreams for this video would be to eventually be able to monetize it and then donate any profits I make from this video or these videos to or any videos I do with cover South Africa specifically, to donate to causes in South Africa like education or whatever, healthcare, education, and things like that. But yeah, so I hope you checked out part 1 if you haven't done so. Well, I hope you will check it out. And I appreciate your support, liking the video, sharing the video, or anything like that, and your views, of course, and all that kind of thing, as ever. But yeah, so as I say, continuing on from part 1, here goes. So yeah, as I said in part 1, I would love to see South Africa do well, because of it's like an answer back to white supremacy, which says that people of colour can't achieve, or things like that, especially black people. And I think it'd be great to prove them wrong. And I think it'd be great I think a lot of black South Africans forget what other African countries, or people of colour perhaps or especially people of colour around the world, and even other African countries like Kenya or places like that, did to help them with their struggle, or in their struggle. And also, and that's why there's a lot of xenophobia as well, and things like that. And also what Asians also did to help to fight apartheid, and also how they were also victims of apartheid. So I think it'd be great if more black South Africans learned about that as well, and were educated about that history. And I wouldn't want to exclude white people, or white people in South Africa even, who perhaps oppose apartheid themselves, and who are not a part of it, who want to integrate or be part of the new South Africa or whatever. But anyway, yeah, so it's mainly, the only people I probably want to exclude are people who are white supremacists or whatever. Yeah, that's about it. So anyway, on to my list. So I think that's a long enough intro. Number 11, I would love to support South African projects like inventors, poets, artists, writers, designers, and all sorts of things like from South Africa and buy from South Africa, and also people of colour to give donations when they can. I know times are tight, but if people of colour who can afford it can donate what they can to South Africa to provide PCs, laptops, mobile phones, training equipment, scientific equipment, and things like that, I think it'd be great. Again, if you look at the white supremacists, they hated all people of colour, I'm sure. So and still, some of them probably still do. So I don't think they looked at Asians or other people as any better. Well, maybe a little bit, but they still saw them below white people. So I think there's an incentive, as I say, for people of colour, including mixed race and Asian people, as well as black people, to support South Africa, in my opinion. Again, I'd love to hear, if people have views to the contrary, that's fine, but I'd love to hear different opinions or whatever. I think it would also be great to see investment into South Africa, as I said before, like banks and businesses, investors, to support South African entrepreneurs, and maybe even use it as part of their PR, and support South Africans from different backgrounds, especially indigenous South Africans, but also coloured South Africans, like mixed race South Africans and Asian South Africans, and again, people from diverse communities, as long as obviously the indigenous people get support as well. I think if a company only employed, if it went to South Africa and said that we've done a lot of good work for South Africa, but they only employed white South Africans, I think it wouldn't be very fair. So I think it would be good to give people of colour an opportunity as well. Again, given what they went through in apartheid, and how hard they've had to work to overcome that. So I think it'd be great to see them be supported and make those changes. Again, I think it'd be great for people to be discouraged by as many people as possible, from looting or committing crimes. Again, talking about how that damages their economy in the long term, and also feeds into the hands of white supremacy. Number 12, again, I think it'd be great to see South African success stories and what they've created, and again, support their businesses, but also look at what they've achieved in terms of inventing things and just doing things. And people who say that black people haven't achieved anything can be used to show them wrong and prove them wrong. Seeing black South African inventors, ideas people, entrepreneurs, and things like that doing well, like people like P.O.C, if I pronounce his name right, who is looking at how to help black South African startups. And again, I think to cut back on crime and looting and all these problems that are going on, I think that would be really something to go towards helping that to happen. And again, I think people like Jacob Zuma and people like that, I think, should give donations to rather than hoarding so much money for themselves, they should spread that money, in my opinion, to, again, that's just my opinion. I don't think they should do, I wouldn't say they should have to do it, but I think they should do it. And I think they'd be much more happy in the long run doing that than having all these big houses and that. And again, it would prove white supremacy is wrong. Whereas if they try and hoard the wealth, they could end up losing the wealth, which is what has happened, I suppose, to Jacob Zuma probably, or he's ended up in prison. Whereas if he had donated some of that money, maybe it would have helped him a little bit. Maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm being naive again, but that's my thoughts anyway. But again, I think it'd be great to encourage South Africa and look at what they've achieved. Number 13, I think it's, as I say, it's a terrible shame that there's a lot of looting. And I think that's going to cost the economy in the long term. And I think there was an incident where Nike, for instance, there was one of the head of Nike in the country or something was seen to have said something racist, and they sort of wanted to kick Nike out of the country as a company. And I think that's really bad because it could create a lot of jobs for people of all different backgrounds in South Africa. So I think they need those companies like Puma and Nike and Adidas and banks and building societies or whatever, investment companies to come and create jobs, and in the long term, maybe even businesses, or to train entrepreneurs to invest in small businesses and things like that, and then help them to grow into bigger businesses, which can create more jobs and opportunities, especially for young people. So I think it's a shame that they did that. I think it was like cutting off the nose to spite the face. So I think that's a terrible shame again, and with the riots and things like that. Number 14, again, I hope to look at how those things can be solved, like the riots and looting and all that, how people, community leaders can condemn it together as one, even from different religions or different ethnic or racial backgrounds, coming together, talk about how it's important to unite the country as much as possible, again, for what it went through during apartheid, to look at what can be done to help them into the future, and like how they can work with each other and other countries as well to solve those problems. Number 15, again, I think it'd be great to see different investors focusing on South Africa and people encouraged to be part of rebuilding their country and make their country proud. Could even be like hashtag please make South Africa proud or something like that, which looks at encouraging young people especially to, or even people just generally, to be part of helping their country and even their continent on the whole rebuild. And again, that's a way to, dare I say, stick two things up to white supremacy and show what can be done. But yeah, I think again, it would be great to see investors and like people be encouraged to refrain from breaking the law or anything like that, and just look at how they can redefine stereotypes and see what they can achieve. Number 16, I'd love to see committees and think tanks looking into how they can do that, what they can learn from other countries like China and India, and how they grew their economies, how they can prove white supremacy wrong, again, and things like that. I think would be pretty cool. Number 17, again, I think it'd be great to see what South Africa can do and how it can prove any critics or doubters wrong, or even achieve more than they thought they could do by working together, bringing people together and investing together and networking together, sharing ideas and looking at how to develop their economy and develop their country generally and that sort of thing, and again, make their country proud. Number 18, again, I'd love to hear different people's ideas and how to make South Africa positive and how to like believe in South Africa. Maybe there could be, again, hashtag believe in South Africa. But again, I think there should be reparations for what happened in apartheid and as much investment and that sort of thing as possible. I think it'd be pretty cool. Number 19, again, I think it'd be great to help them in software development and other areas of tech. And number 20, again, I'd even love to support them in other areas of STEM, generally like science, tech, engineering, and maths, as I mentioned before. And also, again, helping their entrepreneurs and maybe encouraging people to buy from South African entrepreneurs, and maybe even South African entrepreneurs could work together to look at what problems they can solve with, like, in terms of like illnesses, diseases, global warming, and things like that, and doing their own research with pride, really. And again, people of colour maybe supporting such a thing, and maybe when people can travel, like maybe people of colour visiting South Africa, supporting their economies, again, looking how to cut crime and really make South Africa proud, and again, show to white supremacists what people of colour, like Asian and mixed race and whatnot, and Native Americans can achieve when we work together and put our effort into working smart, hard, or whatever it takes to achieve success. And again, I think it'd be great to see as many people of all colours really supporting South Africa to make up for what they went through under apartheid. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please share your thoughts. And I'm out. Peace out.